Good day everybody. Today I'm going to show you how we're going to make a beautiful shed concrete bed. It's going to be very simple, a very easy method, no dramas involved, and I will demonstrate to you how we're going to make this simple bed. First you need to select your area, mark up your area, move your lawn, and then I will show you how we move forward with this simple method. Thank you. You need to select your area. You need to know how big your shed is. So our shed is around 3 meters by 1.5 meters. So I'm going to make a bed that is 4 meters by 1.5 meter and a little bit more, so that you have enough space to set the shed on that concrete bed. So it's not a problem. Just you mark up your area and I will show you what we need to do next. Okay, now that you have cleared the area, you have taken the grass, moved the lawn, you don't worry about the level. I'll explain to you later. We will manage the level, but you need to make the reapers, the hedging on both ends. You need to put these pegs, because it was a 4-meter reap. I had to cut in two and then join it with his joiners, and make sure your pegs are on the outside. Your pegs are on the outside. That area is okay, and that area will be covered by this reaper. And later on I'll show you how to strengthen the ground and increase the strength, and let's move forward from there. Make sure you put the pegs in place, hammer them, use some water in case it's too hard. Remember, any storm water holes over here, any storm water holes, keep them open. They are here for a purpose, right? So you will now see I've laid the first reaper in place. I've pegged it down. Now the second reaper is going into place, and I'm making sure I'm measuring it and seeing that it's more than 1.5, because the shed would be more than 1.5, so I'm thinking of keeping it at 1.7. all right, make sure you square them up, okay, and screw them all up together. All right, fair and square, that's the rule, fair and square. Okay, now you have everything in place, all the corners together, the reapers are in place, fair and square, 4 meters by a little bit more than 1.5 meters. It's time now for me to find out how I'm going to make the bottom of this base stronger enough for me to drop that concrete. Alright, so you need to verify that your ground is properly compacted. Use a wooden log or a proper compacting tool. Make sure it's all hard and perfect and straight. The level has to be accurate. Proper level has to be set up all around. And there are a few thumb rules. So these thumb rules are: make sure the area is fit for your shed. It should be a little bit wider than your shed. Make sure there's no interference on top. The other thumb rule is the level should be perfect. Don't worry about the bottom level, but make sure your reapers are all leveled up properly, so you will get a straight finish on top. I will explain to you further later. So you get your ready-made concrete mix and cement. So it's 5:1 ready-made concrete mix and 1 part of cement. Your concrete mix should be 10 mil. So that's how you mix it, you put some water, and that's what you need to do. So it's a pretty hard job, but you can. All right, if I can, you can. Right on. So your concrete mix is nothing but sand and stone or jelly or whatever you want to call it, 10 mil, all mixed together. That's the concrete mix. And the cement is cement, of course. The mixing is the hardest part, and that's the way you do it. You put some water, mix together, but that's what you're going to get after you mix, right? So it's a big job, but if I can, you can. You put your concrete mix in there. You need to use these beautiful tools. Okay, as straight as possible. Straight as possible. Okay. All right. Sure, you have this beautiful tool to keep everything as flat as possible, right? It has to be flat, flat, flat. And that's the rule, the straight rule, correct? Okay. Okay, so finally, after all this exercise, this is what you need to achieve. Okay? So, this is, there's a hole, and there you go. Smooth, 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 smooth finish. So you keep going, you see? You keep going this way. Can you see that? That's how it, you keep going by stages, stages, and stages, all right? All right, that's good there. So this is day 2 of this project. I've tried to put some shade because it's going to be hot during the day. And you see, we have finished that area, and now I'll work on this. Hopefully, I'll finish all this area today, and it's a 2-day project, looks like. Of course, labor is free, but this entire cost would be probably just $200. So you think about it. This is what it's going to cost if you want to do it yourself. So you need to make a shed. You don't need to check with me. You check on my YouTube video. Okay, righto? Thank you. Okay, so the entire workmanship for this man hours, I spent 2 hours there, 2 hours over here. You need to make sure it's flat and nice. I'm going to spend another 2 hours here, another 2 hours there. So a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, say 12 hours is would be sufficient for the entire project. Use this beautiful tool to make it straight and nice, and you can put some of your hand impressions there. So for some memory, you can write down the date, when was this done, so there's some memory left in there, and that's it for now. See you later. Okay, finally the entire job is complete, and it's all under 8 hours, so the total job is around 12 hours. You may ask me a few questions. Why didn't I use a concrete mixer? Well, I had to save some money there, and the volume of the concrete mix and the cement, you can just do a simple calculation. It's no-brainer. Otherwise, all good. Job is complete. Let me finish up later, and I will show you the rest, how we're going to clean it up well. As you can see, the complete shed base is ready now. It took me around 8 hours to complete this entire 4 meter by a little bit more than 1.5 meter, and I spent around 2 hours for each section. Like I divided it into 4 sections, 1, 2, say 2, 3, and 4 sections. So each section 2 hours, 8 hours job, complete of 12 hours, including creating the framework, etc., etc. Just to verify, the cost of this entire project is $200. That's only the material, that's the wood frame, etc., and concrete mix with the cement. The reason for me to cut this into two halves is because I had to make sure there was enough space in the car, so I cut in 2 halves and then joined them together. Make sure you water them once every 24 hours, I can say, just for 2 days, just to cure and and just leave it alone. It'll be by itself. And, after 24 hours you should be all good, ready to receive the shed and install the shed. So you make sure you put your manufacturing date. That's for your history. When was it manufactured? It's good for your records. It's very important, in fact. And then I will show you later, after 2 days, I will take off this wooden frame, and we will then discuss on how we're going to install the shed. All the shed details are definitely on the installation drawings and installation package for the shed, so not a big drama out there. So once we get there, I will let you know what's going to happen next. Then you can smoothen the surface up, right? There you go, that's a nice finish, and I'll tell you what I'll do later. So finally, after 2 days of curing, the entire job is complete. A beautiful concrete slab, the shed base is ready, lined up, and that's what we dream to achieve, you know. It has to roll. That's what we achieve. So it's all complete and all good, ready to receive the big shed on top of this block. Good day, everybody. Now let me tell you how we are going to now get all these parts together to make this garden shed. First you need to select your shed. They come in 2 boxes. It's 1 of 2, 2 of 2. You need to select your garden shed model. So you need to know your garden shed, what goes in there. A few tips: you try and prepare all the panels before you install them. So get them all ready and sorted. Follow the instructions. A few tips are: where it is to join, you join it, and then a couple of tools you need to join everything together. And we do have an instruction manual which tells you almost everything in there, so you need to read and follow the instructions. Very simple. Make sure all the parts are there. Follow these instructions, which are very important for joining of the channels together. Another tip out there is to just make sure that you have this channel, the longer section on the outer of each corrugated panel. Okay guys, let me get all together and I will start installing them. Okay, so one more small tip. You can see, you know, these channels, they are well designed. They lock very well in place, and they're called as snap tight. You see, snap tight, and they go very well in place. So you're okay. It doesn't start moving around. It gets locked in place. So make sure you put them all nice and tight, and then every hole you see out here which are visible, you try and put a screw in there, so that will get everything strong and strengthened and will piece everything together. Okay, I will show you now how to join them all together. You need to keep them together. You need to use a small wooden piece for some support and use the joining channel in between. You need to drill a beautiful hole in there, and then you can screw them together. Use a nice Phillips head star screwdriver and screw them in there, and there you go. Okay, all right, it's all joined and nice together, and let's move forward from here. Thank you. Now all the panels are in place, all screwed in together, and then we'll put the front panel, the roof, and so on. Okay, you just need to put the panels together and make sure you You screw them all throughout, and over here you screw them all throughout, and then you put your front section. You can see now all the 4 walls are in place, and you need to start screwing up all the corners, any open holes you see, or anything that is related to a fitment for the strengthening of this framework. Please put all the screws in place. All right, perfect, and neat job it should be. So now you have the doors in place. They are well bolted, and you can see, yes, couple of screws, okay, and a couple of screws down there. So the doors are finally in place, and time for the roof. And now the roof is in place, and you need to screw the top of the roof. A couple of screws there. There are drilled holes, and you need to screw them all in, and after the door and the latch, and that's how we go. And now it's all pieced up together. I need to now install the anchor bolts to hold down the entire shed on this beautiful concrete base. Thanks. Okay, you have to anchor all the corners, maybe 6 or 12 depending on what you are supplied with. Then you need to put the anchor bolt in place. Use a masonry bit, verify the length of your hole, and you'll be all good to screw it all in with this in place. All right? Okay. Okay. Drill your hole. Make sure the depth is correct. Align your angle. Drop your bolt in, and then where you go. Perfect. Just need to tighten it. All right. Then you drill through over here, and then you can put your other bolt and make this strong and solid. Okay, that's good. And finally, the garden shed has been completed. Looks good to me. It takes 2 days to create this beautiful concrete slab, 48 hours of curing, 2 days for putting up this shed. So a total of 1 week, I guess. And there you go, garden shed for you. Enjoy this video, and try to put one yourself. It is easy but not very difficult. Thank you, and enjoy your day. Thank you.